Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I would like to begin by acknowledging we are gathered on Treaty 6 in Treaty 7 territory. I would like to recognize all the many First Nations, Métis people, whose footsteps have marked these lands long before settlers arrived here. I'm Irfan Sabir, the Alberta NDP critic for justice and public safety. I'm joined today by my colleague, Kyle Kasaski, critic for municipal affairs. In March, the UCP laid the groundwork for their self-serving plan to create an Alberta provincial police force by amending the public safety statutes. The UCP government is moving forward with this despite the fact they did not campaign on it in the last year's election, nor was it included in the Premier's mandate letter to Minister Alice or Minister Amiri. In fact, Danielle Smith insisted during the 2023 election campaign that she would not bring a provincial police force because it was so unpopular with Albertans. The president of National Police Federation, which represents RCMP officers, called the move another attempt to force an unwanted and expensive policing change on taxpayers who have been clear it is not a move they support. The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees, which represents Alberta sheriffs, said there was no consultation with the union about the creation of the new policing agency. This UCP government should be focusing on social determinants of justice and priorities that matter to Albertans, like affordable housing, supporting public health care, providing quality education, stopping drug poisoning deaths, preparing for drought and wildfires, and the list goes on. What is not in that list is creating a provincial police force to replace the RCMP. This is not about addressing public safety. No, it is simply the UCP pandering to their base who only care about picking fights with Arwa and adding more costs onto municipalities and Albertans. I would like now to invite Kyle to the mic to expand further on it.
Thank you, Irfan. Over 70 municipalities signed a letter to the UCP expressing their opposition to have a provincial police force. But their first session after the election, the UCP broke their promise from the election and brought in legislation to bring in a provincial police force. Creating a provincial police force means Alberta households will see a dramatic rise in their property taxes. Based on analysis of the UCP's cost estimates, the provincially assessed value of communities served by the RCMP and population data, families will cough up hundreds of dollars and in some cases thousands of dollars in a new property tax to pay for the UCP's own police force. The total cost of the transition in their analysis is more than $366 million, and that doesn't even factor in the loss of over $1 billion from the federal government to cover RCMP. What would a ridiculous plan like this cost Albertans? Well, it's a lot. For a resident of Red Deer, it means an increase of more than $600. So a family of four, it's going to be nearly more than $2,500 per year. Red Deer conducted a study of a municipal police force in 2020. They found it would cost millions of dollars more per year and decided against developing a Red Deer police force because it would be a waste to the property taxpayers' money. In other parts of the province, this move would see costs of over $3,500 for a family of four in places such as Airdrie, over $4,000 for a family of four in Strathcona County, my hometown, and in Cochrane, upwards of $12,000 for a family of four in Canmore. That's in Canmore, it would be upwards of $12,000 for a family of four. Albertans are already paying way more for utilities, car insurance, tuition, and student debt under the UCP. What kind of government wants to burden taxpayers even more by forcing them to pay for a vanity project to appease their voter base? Clearly, it is the UCP government that lies to Albertans and breaks promises that have no value. The UCP government must scrap its costly plans and apologize to Alberta municipalities, all Albertans, for wasting so much time, money, and energy creating a problem instead of solving the problems that matter. Thank you, and we're happy to take your questions now.
Thank you. Just a reminder, if you're on Zoom, it's the raise hand function. If you're on the phone, it's *9 to get in the question queue. Please state your name and outlet and who you'd like to direct your questions to, and we'll start here in person.
Susan Zielinski with the Red Deer Advocate. I'm just wondering if there would be any other negative implications for a city the size of Red Deer with the UCP plan.
Sorry, Susan, can you repeat that?
Oh, is it working?
I don't know if the mic's on, but
It's quite quiet.
Oh,
It's
okay.
hard to-
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
through there, but yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to speak over.
Can you hear?
Okay, Susan with the Red Deer Advocate.
Hi.
Would there be any other negative implications for a city the size of Red Deer if the UCP put this plan in place?
If they go forward with their Alberta Provincial Police Force?
Yeah.
I think first and foremost, UCP did not campaign on it. And in fact, during the election, they said they will not pursue it, and precisely for the reason that it will cost thousands of dollars more for city of Red Deer, for instance. And Red Deer also did a study of their own, and they found that it will be way more costly for them, and they decided to stay with the RCMP. What UCP should be focusing on is the social determinants of justice. And Red Deer has a lot of issues, like, for instance, housing issues, mental health addiction issues. There are so many other issues that government should be focusing on. For instance, Alberta spends the lowest on education in the entire country. And that's one of the social determinant of justice. If you won't focus on education, people won't have meaningful employment, people won't have that kind of income, and their interaction with justice system will increase. There's studies out there. So instead of focusing on addressing safety concerns of Albertans, the government is busy pandering to their base and picking fights with Ottawa, which help no one.
Do you have a follow-up, Susan?
Okay.
Yeah, and we can come back to you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Ashley, RD News Now. Hi. So the language on the government website says that this change is to enhance the RCMP, not replace it. Why do you feel that this isn't an accurate portrayal of their intentions?
I think we have seen this government say things that are not truthful over and over. For instance, just before the election, they said nobody is touching your pensions. And as soon as they got elected, they brought a bill forward to essentially do what they said they won't do, to set up an Alberta pension plan, which they didn't campaign on, which nobody is asking for. Take other examples. On the day one of their election campaign, Danielle Smith said that she will provide a tax break to Albertan that will be available January 1, 2024, 6 months ago, and they break that promise. During election, they also said that they won't dismantle RCMP or bring up an Alberta Provincial Police Force. And the Bill 11 is doing exactly that. So they are not focused on the issues Albertans are asking them to focus: education, healthcare, crime, drugs and addiction. There are so many things they should be focused on, and they are not. And I understand that they will manipulate and spin their language, but what they are doing is exactly what they said they won't do, to set up an Alberta Provincial Police Force.
Okay. So amongst concerns of them changing the plans that they initially posed to everybody and the different financial concerns, what's really the main message that you want to communicate to Red Deer residents about this issue?
The message for Red Deer resident and Albertan is that this is a plan that will cost them millions of dollars. We have done the calculation throughout the province where RCMP is serving, and no Albertan want to, I guess, incur more expenses at a time when they are already facing high unemployment, higher inflation, and so many other issues that they are dealing with in their communities. Government need to work with the municipalities as equal partners and focus on issues that municipalities want them to focus on. And I have not heard Alberta Provincial Police Force as priority for any municipality.
Thank you. We'll just do one more pass for questions. Just a reminder if you're on Zoom. Oh, sorry, Kyle. Go ahead.
You know, when I would look at the legislation for the provincial police force, I would look at that with the suite of bills that just came in, like Bill 18 and Bill 20, where the provincial government wants to get in between federal funding and municipalities. And I think for the city of Red Deer, they get to choose who they contract their police services to, and the RCMP has been doing good service for them, and it's a good use of taxpayer money. And so I think that when we look at the suite of bills that have come in with Bill 20 and Bill 18, that we need to know that we want to know that the city of Red Deer has that choice and that the province isn't taking away those choice for local voters.
Thank you, Kyle. We'll just do one more quick pass for questions. Just a reminder, if you're on Zoom, it's the raise hand function. If you're on the phone, it's *9. Any more in person here? Susan, did you think of it? Okay. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Do I introduce myself again?
I think he might remember.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Just say who you are, but does it matter who answers it for you?
Not necessarily, no. Just kind of wondering, what are some of the next steps the NDP is planning on taking in regards to this issue? Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we will engage with Albertans and share the facts that what it means for Albertans if province moves ahead with their own police force. And facts are clear, and we are taking those facts from this government reports. For instance, they commissioned a report in 2021-22, PwC report, that clearly says that it will cost province an additional $360 million. $360 million just to set it up. On top, there is a federal subsidy, or share federal government provides for RCMP services. We will lose that. We will lose institutional knowledge, technical expertise, many opportunities to train together to address like common issues. So we will take those facts, we will reach out to Albertans, and I think at some point government will realize that this is not something that is popular with Albertan. And we have seen when people come together and push back on government policies that they want, in a democratic society, government should listen. And that's what we expect from this government, that they need to listen to Albertan, they need to apologize, and need to focus on social determinants of justice and other issues that are facing our communities.
Thank you. Any more questions, guys? You're good? Okay, great. That concludes our press conference for today. Thank you very much.